Hello everyone, this is Jackie Williams. Welcome to another Global Stampin' Video Hop. In this video, we are doing a one-layer card. Now we had some discussion amongst ourselves about what that means. So we may have some variations, but in any case, it will be cards with a lot less dimension than usual, just as a challenge. And for my project, I want to use the Abundant Beauty masks, and I'll explain how these work as we go along. So I'm going to start with a piece of grid paper and a couple of pieces of washi tape or magnets. If you have some kind of a magnetic platform, can be very helpful when doing this project. And I am going to go truly just one layer. So I have just a card base of thick basic white folded in half. I think I'm going to leave it closed just so I don't accidentally get ink where I don't want it. And I will just tape that down in a couple of places with washi tape. May need to move that later. We'll see where our masks land. Then these masks have 4 elements to them, and each one has got a little number. You may not be able to see that in the video, but there's a little number 1 and a notch. So the 1 tells me which one to do first, but also tells me which way is the right way up. It doesn't matter, I suppose, if you did it that way, as long as you consistently did all of them that way. Okay, so I'm just going to place that on my project. I think for this one, I'm going to go about here. Now, for the little notch, what I found helpful was to just take my pen and just mark that little notch on my grid paper, similar to how you might do for sewing. Now, for doing my flowers, I think I'm going to use Fresh Freesia and Boho Blue, and there might be enough ink still on my blending brushes. So each time you do this, it's going to be a unique color. Okay, I quite like that. Actually, that's pretty. And then I'm going to just put that down, I think more in this corner like this. Okay, now before I move this, I'm going to do an extra little step here. So I have my spritzer and I have filled that with isopropyl alcohol, and then I have added a few drops of my Wink of Stella. And then when you shake that up, it's going to give us a nice shimmer spray. So I'm just going to use my hand to block that side and just spray right through the mask. Okay, and then I'm going to pick that up and do the same thing over on this side. Okay, now I'm just going to wipe that off and maybe just give it a moment to dry. Next, we'll take our mask number 2 and I'll match that up with the notch. And actually these leaves are kind of spaced far out from the flowers. So I'm going to take a little creative license and I'm going to set those aside for now. And let's do our flower centers next, which is number 3, because I will do those leaves differently than how they are placed on the mask, if that makes sense, how they're sort of intended to go. I'll put them a little closer in because we're only doing partial images, so we essentially have a smaller space. Now I'm using Lemon Lolly as my flower centers. And then we have this really nice detail for the flower centers, and I'm going to use Pebbled Path. Now we'll go back and I'm just going to individually put my flowers in. Now I'm using Old Olive for the flowers here. And there are our flowers all finished. Now we just want to add some words. And these words are from the Heartfelt Hexagon, which is a new set that I Hope Your Day is Filled with Joy I thought was quite nice. And then one more detail I want to add to the front. I want to use the Stitched with Whimsy dies, and these don't cut out a shape, but they add a nice stitching line around your project. So I'll run that through my die cutter. Actually, I'll run it through like this. You just want one layer, not both layers. And I think that adds a really nice detail while still keeping our card flat. I think we are allowed to add some gems, so I'm just deciding if I want the green ones or the yellow ones. I think I quite like the yellow ones, but honestly, either one would work. That's nice. And then it's always nice to do the inside of your card to match, and of course, a matching envelope. That's quite cute. Now, I do have another project I did earlier that isn't quite exactly only one layer. I have actually 2 layers here, and I've used the radiating stitches on the front. So it's just one piece of white on top of a white card base. So it's 2 layers, but still very flat. And for this one, I've used Berry Burst, and then of course did a little on the inside and then some on the envelope as well. So I hope you enjoyed that. That gives you some ideas of how you can make 1-layer cards as well as use the Abundant Beauty masks. Thanks so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of the hop. Please subscribe while you're here and leave me a comment, and I'll see you next video. This is Jackie Williams. Bye-bye.